The Nigerian Senate and majority of the Nigerian senators, are you actually lawmakers or lawbreakers? The court says the lady Natasha should be called back to the Senate, right? And the lady Natasha, according to the instructions of the court, get ready and went to the Senate to resume her legislative and the duty, her legislative duty as a mandate being given to her by the people of Kogi Central. Then upon getting to the Senate, Godwin Akpabio said, no way, you are not entering here as a private property. Now, she was denied access. And I'm here to ask, who's really in charge of the country? Are we governed by law, which has been proven to be no? By this time, we know we're no longer being governed by law. But should I use this opportunity to say shame on the Nigerian judiciary? Because when the laws, when your judgment is being disregarded by those that you've sold yourself so cheaply to, how do you feel? How do you feel as a judge to have passed a judgment and some person in authority disregard it? It tells that you've sold your authority, you've sold your right. That is what we've just seen. Senate has been asked to record the lady that the suspension was unjustifiable, uncalled for, and not necessary. As in the period, she said. Now, the lady has come to the Senate, and the Oga of the Senate said, no way, you are not coming here, even if the court says come in, because they have no regard for the rule of law. If Akpabio was elected genuinely by the people, he will have respect for the law. But unfortunately, we know this is a man who was never involved in the primary election of his constituency. But he sat there at the exotic office of the Senate president. What a shame. And this goes to the 100 and I think we have 109 members of the Senate, excluding Natash. Now we have 108. So in this 108 left, apart from former Governor Seriake Disin, I respect that man. Then Senator Aliu Dume, I also respect you. So others, nobody can tell the Senate high ranking like the Senate president that what he's doing is wrong. I have not seen majority of the senators, even though I know the females are very few. I think there are just 4. Even among that 4, I can't see them taking side boldly with Senator Natasha. What a shame. It is obvious. I think Natasha said it. He said the Senate under Senator Godwin Akpabio worst in Nigerian history. She said it, and which is an obvious fact. Nigeria have never had a Senate this bad. A Senate that don't have a say. They just say yes and yes and yes to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then the Akpabio is in charge of the Senate, and whatever Tinubu told Akpabio no now. Nigerians are supposed to have a Senate that disobeys the law, where they were supposed to be lawmakers. If lawmakers have become lawbreakers, then where do Nigerians stand? Where do Nigerians stand? This is why when you go to court, you get bogus judgment, stupid judgment. Judgment only go in favor of those that they want to favor. Facts no longer matter. God said go. Akpabio said you will not enter, and Akpabio own stood. We think we have a country. Nigeria will be played. 2027 is here already. Do not match that. See, you see that National Assembly. We are supposed to match that National Assembly or match our senators in their respective constituency. There is nobody as a senator in Abuja that does not have a village, that doesn't have a home in the state. But because of one sentiment or the other, and my brother, and my party member, and my religious member, we don't know what to do. Match these people properly. Let them pass a bill to reform INEC. If INEC is not reformed, the likes of Akpabio, the likes of Ahmed Lawan, who will not partake in the primary election, end up being in the Senate, and end up finding themselves in an exotic position as high as the Senate president. This is what we'll continue to get. We'll continue to get things like this, and with things like this, the country can never grow. This is the one of the ways Nigeria leaders keep embarrassing the country. And tomorrow, the EFCC chairman, when I don't know that brain they pay, will tell you that Yahoo boys are bringing bad image to Nigeria. Our senators, our governors, our president, our House of Rep members are the people embarrassing Nigeria, are portraying Nigeria in a negative light before the international community. The my dear judiciary, though you guys have rendered yourself useless to the people you've empowered. They use you to get there. When they get there, although the judges don't even feel bad, when it concern you were highly paid, money came, we saw SUVs flying, buildings were being given. So it doesn't matter if they disregard you. After us, disregard you and you make more money. That's what matters to you.
As far as I'm concerned, she don't win una. One woman, only one woman. Now all of una shamelessly gather against. This gate you are seeing, this is National Assembly gate. This is how it is when Natasha came in. Why una no treat am like una dey treat other Nigerians? Well, I think say una go carry police bundle am, you know, all those kind of treatments una dey give ordinary people. And since una don't turn am to ordinary woman, una for treat am like that. Then for no say na real men una be. But the way una just go, fear of her, go lock gate, it shows that she's more. She don't power, her power pass on her own. Una for leave the gate, una for no lock the gate, una for leave the gate open to show say, make una for show una manpower for there today. First, they did not allow her car to enter. She came down from the car and then walked that long distance into the first gate. She passed the first gate, the second gate. This is it. So as far as I'm concerned, she don't do personal. Her power, you don't show say una no reach am anywhere. Una for open gate make she enter. Then una for no go make we see whether una no go let her go sit down for her seat. So shamelessly, the whole world have seen. International communities are saying. I wonder the kind of women in you people's life, how do they feel? Especially all those solo shows where they collect una money, they knack una. Because as she no green knack, na him be the cause of all this thing, allegedly. The wives, the women wey una marry put for house, how then they feel seeing their so-called men acting this way? Just because a woman no greet open pants. How then they feel? How una they feel, wives for house? Say all these things, una husbands they do all these things because another woman no greet show their pants, her pants. It's just a shame. I'm so ashamed of Jesus. Imagine the kind of bodies that are ruling us, Nigerians. How did you get here? How did you get here? Natasha, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Not to worry. The truth will always prevail. Just keep waxing strong. Our prayers and thoughts are with you. At the end of the day, we will see. By the grace of God. Very shameful. Imagine men gather. I think so now for flex muscle now. Flex muscle. She has gone back. She will come back another day again. Nigerians, please help me share this video, I beg. The embarrassment, the shame and disgrace is just too much, I beg.
Well, some of us who recruited him into politics had a mission. And I will reveal that mission today. General Buhari came into politics. It wasn't his province. He never liked politicians because he believed we are fake and that we don't mean what we say. But there was an incident that made some of us to recruit him, convince him, and use the other people to convince him to join politics. And even though we had our own agenda, because in 1999 and 2000, the OPC was on rampage in some parts of the country, especially Southwest, and have inconvenienced a lot of people from this part of the country. And to the extent that they mobilized over 500 vehicles to come and invade Ilorin with the sole aim of uprooting what they called Fulani structures in Ilorin. And we felt that was too much. And Obasanjo was doing nothing. President Obasanjo was doing nothing. President Bola Tinubu, then governor of Lagos, was doing nothing. And some of us felt that those group of people were being encouraged by their leaders in position of authority. So how do we stop that? And I called a meeting in Kaduna at Alhaji Bashir Alhatu's house in a place called Unguan Kaji, directly opposite the house of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. And some of those we invited included Alhaji Wadanas, Professor Yadudu, Bashir Alhatu himself, Alhaji Yahya Sulehama, and a host of others, about 34 of us. And we sat down to reason, how do we save our people from this OPC menace? So we said, I suggested that we have to, because you remove government through only two ways, the bullet of through the barrel of the gun and through the ballot box. And they said it was impossible to challenge General Obasanjo. That was how Buhari came to our mind. And when he was approached, he had a very unkind words for politicians. But since he didn't say he was not doing, we still pursued him. To cut long story short, we achieved our first purpose of putting a brake to what OPC was doing, because immediately Buhari joined partisan politics, and we had a very big outing in Daura to initiate him into politics. The Obasanjo government became restive and was shaken to its bone marrow, and because those were some of his our thinking. So Obasanjo had to really checkmate the OPC. So for that reason, we have achieved our first purpose of bringing General Buhari into partisan politics. So the remaining now is history. They wanted to dismantle, as what is happening across the country now. They wanted to dismantle his platform of ANPP, APC, ANPP. And we made a counter platform by establishing the Buhari Organization, TBO, which we used as a platform for promoting his political ideals. Of course, all these are now history. Some smart people who are politically ambitious came in and threw us out. That is how we parted ways with him. Those of us who followed him blindly for 15 years, Suleya Hamma as our leader, and myself as his deputy and the operational head of the Buhari Organization, we agreed that we should not look for political appointment, or we should not look for elective office. Our idea is just to push General Buhari to become president, so that if we become the engine room of his government, we would now influence certain things in the country. And we had those things listed in our minds. And the greatest mistake was that, and it's what people also see as Buhari's inability to do well in government, because he has cut the umbilical cord, those who brought him and have ideas about what he has to do, and he recruited new people. And these new people never had an idea at all as to why even Buhari joined politics. But all these are now history. We pray that God grants him Al-Jannat al-Firdaus, and we pray that God receives him and forgive him. For some of us, we have forgiven him already. Definitely, Buhari wouldn't have done anything outside what God has destined will happen.
Okay, Alhaji, Thank you so much. We're looking forward to your new book. You will leave to be able to write that story and tell it. And we'll be there to celebrate with you when you launch the book. And it will be another, repository of Nigerian history. I will learn from you. Like I said, you're not going anywhere soon. I wish you the very best of health. Trust you're doing better now. We heard you've been under the weather for a bit, but we're happy to see you doing well. Thank you so much, Alhaji. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. I think this is a very important history that a lot of us should know. Okay. This is not the first time I am knowing about this. That was last 2 years. Yeah. I talked about all these things, the purpose why Buhari joined politics, that Buhari never joined politics because he wants to serve Nigeria or he want to, rule the people, he have good intention for the people. No. I talked about he came because of, to save Fulani people, and that was the purpose why Buhari was allowing Fulanis to come into Nigeria. He brought them before the election, and as you can see all over the country, a lot of them are terrorizing because they brought them without a purpose. Now, that is apart. That speaks to the reason why a lot of Nigerian politicians are failing and why they will continue to fail. They do join politics without a purpose. They do join politics without, it's a purpose anyway, but not, the people is not the center of the purpose. To save the people is not the center of the purpose. So Buhari's induction into politics was just because the OPC, Oduduwa People's Congress, were determined to take over their land, their own inherited land. So they saw that these people were ready to do that because Obasanjo was the president then. Obasanjo knew the history, and he would allow the OPC to take over Ilori. And Fulanis invaded Ilori. I know the history a long time ago. I want you people to always read history, not to just come and argue with people. Now, after the invasion, Ilori today don't belong to Yoruba people any longer. They have emirs, no longer Onis or Obas. All right, Ilori is gone, and it's gone forever. So nobody knows what is going to happen in the nearest future, but it's important we understand history. That Buhari joined politics not because he has the intention to serve you, but just to save Fulani, territory, to save Fulani's people. When I mean their territory, I'm talking about the territory they invaded. This is the reality from Buba Galadima. Share this video.